Um, Allow me to be racist for a moment. Just for one moment. White folks, I need you to stop doing weird shit. You're freaking people out. This country has gotten to the point where it is somewhat on a hair trigger. You just had a bunch of cops that were shot in Philadelphia. Before that, Ohio and El Paso. Not to mention you have mass shootings all over the place. My point is, doing weird stuff that freaks people out can put your life in danger, especially when those people are freaked out because you're doing weird shit. And yes, I am assuming race, and I am assuming, and I could be wrong on this, and if I am, I apologize, and I'm assuming gender. TV head man is now a thing. And it is literally, exactly, completely what you think it is. TV head man is now a thing. When you think it's like TV head man, it sounds like a man with a TV on his head. That's exactly what it is. And he has been roaming the neighborhoods in Virginia, dropping off TVs. Welcome to the soapbox. My name is Jamarl Thomas. This is the Progressive Soapbox. Guys, if you dig this content, you find yourself coming back to this channel often, please like this video, share this video, and of course, subscribe. Also, if you really dig it, please consider supporting the PayPal or Patreon. Not to mention super chats. We like to say even $1 helps, because that is true. YouTube is treacherous territory at that point for content creators at this point. So I'm forced to ask that. It's not that I love it. People who've been with me for a very long time know that I came to this point grudgingly. I used to get freaked out when people would give me money on the show, because it's like, oh God, he's giving me cash. But now you don't really have a choice. So I live in Virginia. There was this thing at one point where there was a guy, Slender Man. Do you remember that? Just stand outside and freak people out. Look at this. TV head man. Yeah, I told you. A man with a TV on his head. It's exactly what you thought it was. Ludicrous and utterly ridiculous. I'm assuming gender because I think it has a build of a man, but I could be wrong. In fact, looking at the person, I could be wrong. But this person left 50 of these televisions in neighborhoods in Virginia, in homes outside. Old TVs, like the one he has on his head. No one knows why. It's utterly and entirely mysterious. As mysterious as it is ridiculous. There's no point to life. Honestly, I mean that in an absolute sense. If there is something else outside of our experience, this human experience, then there may be a larger point. But that is something that is outside of the confines of my knowledge base, meaning the only thing I can function on to some degree is what I know. And this is an evolutionary universe. There's no point. There's, you build a hammer, I build an ink pen, that's supposed to write. I build a desk that's supposed to sit there while I put stuff on. I build a hammer, it's supposed to bang stuff in. What about a person? Who built a person? Where did a person come from? And without knowing that notion of where that person comes from, this notion of having a point kind of somewhat goes away. That's not the easiest thing to deal with. This notion of radical freedom. This idea that you as an individual, for the most part, are free to do what you want to do. You're radically free. We don't like that. Radical freedom feels icky. It's too much. Oftentimes we subordinate ourselves to cash, to family, to all sorts of things, the relationship, to this particular kid, to that thing, this thing. We define our purpose, we define what we want to do in life, whether that is imposed upon us or whether we choose it on our own. I often argue that choice is somewhat of an illusion. My mom hates that argument. My point to her is that if you have a distribution of 100 people and if 75 does it, then you could say that there's a bias in this particular environment to yield this particular result for human beings. It's not so much that it's determinative that everybody would do it. It's more so that there's a trend and a bias in a particular direction. My point, long-winded, is from a cosmic sense, you can choose to do this. You can say, I am going to put a television on my head because I don't think this person was born with a television on their head. You can say, I'm going to put a television on my head and I'm going to go trouncing through the neighborhood at night and drop off television sets. There's nothing stopping you. I don't know if it's against the law, but there's nothing stopping you from doing that. You can say it's ridiculous. You can say it's whimsical. You can say it is a pointless endeavor. You can ask, does this person have not better things to do? Are there better things where their time can be spent? You can ask all of those things, but all of those things are subjective. And for the most part, clearly, the person's answer would be no. Because if so, they would be doing those things. In this moment, they thought that this was the best use of their productive energies, to put a television set on their head and go walking through the streets at night, delivering televisions. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. Look, there's always a probability distribution. That's the way I look at it anyway. And there's always going to be those like ends of the distribution curve in regards to random shit that happens. This is random shit that happens. No, I don't necessarily think on any particular day that a person would put a television on their head and go walking through the streets delivering TVs. But over the grand stretch of time, if you're thinking out, like grand stretch of time, you're talking, 1,000 years. Is it going to happen one day? Maybe in 1,000 years, yeah. Hey, you just so happen are the lucky person to be around within the context of that 1,000 years for that one day for this to take place. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. Wow. That's extraordinary. I laughed at this so hard. I thought, I thought you guys might like it. When I see shit like that makes me laugh. I like to show you guys. That's extraordinary. That's extraordinary. John Hill, JT is the TV dude. Yeah. JT is the TV dude. Don't let him in, fool. Don't let that fool in. Right. Don't let him in, fool. Burning a guillotine. Welcome, new viewers. Want to have a good time? Block Real-Time Dark Legend. He thinks feeding a Bill Maher obvious troll account is funny. It's not. Yeah, Bill Maher sucks. I don't like Bill Maher. Elephants on Coke. Thanks for poisoning my brain with your Russian propaganda. I know, right? This is Russia trying to get America to not like itself by showing utter ridiculousness like this. That's a person, man. Do you realize that if you were born into that person's body, you would be doing that right now? Do you believe there's something in you that's distinct that would have prevented you from doing what this person is doing right now if you weren't born to his particular parents and in his particular experience? I find this to be somewhat of a fascinating question. People often say, if that was me, I would do X. And they would often wag their finger and so forth. But the catch of the matter is, the fact that that person is doing X means that if you were born in that person's, if they were born to that person's family, in that person's shoes, you would be doing just what that person is doing. Because this notion that there is something distinct and separate from you, as opposed to the other person, is somewhat of a farce. At the very least, from the standpoint of the human experience. I am you and you are me. We are born into different places. That is true. But if I was born to your parents, I would be you and vice versa. This notion of separation is a farce. Yet, that's how we operate. My point is, we are TV head mans. That's all of us. TV head man is all of us. That's my point. That's what I'm going to end it on. We are TV head man. We are TV head man. Like, share, subscribe. And wait. There's one more. There was one more. This was entirely funny, by the way. I was laughing so hard at this. I was like, I have to show this. All right, there's one more. Come on. Shaka Lumumba. Doubt he shrieked. Oh, don't jump ahead. Oh, she's talking about Epstein. Don't jump ahead. Don't jump ahead. That's my next video. That is my next video. Do dead men scream? It's like, you know, does that happen? Freedom. All right, I'll end this here. I'll see you guys in like a few minutes, and we can have a conversation about, does a man who hanged himself screams while he's choking to death? That's grim. So let's go back to TV Hitman. Let's end it on TV Hitman, because that's too grim. I don't want to end it on a dark note. TV Hitman, we are TV Hitman. That's happy. That's happy in a sad way. This is what we've come to. Like and share. Subscribe. Thanks all.